Hello, Hi Esoterica viewers. I'm back with the rest of May energy, and we're going to use the Adventure Tarot today by Elizabeth Sue, artwork by Jenny Chang. This is for week of May, which is the 14th to about the 21st, and then the last week of May, which is the 21st through the 31st. So let's see what kind of cards we get, what kind of messages we get, what is the energy of, so the beginning part, May 14th. Really is a Wednesday. Oh, we got something. 1, 2, 3, 4. We actually have 4 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. See if we have anything for the middle part. Oh, that one just popped right out. And then the ending of this third week of May. Oh, and we'll put that there on the end. Okay, and then for the last week of May, the beginning around the 22nd. Oh, these cards jumped out. That one was on top, so I'm gonna do that. All right, around the middle of this last week of May. Oh, these ones came upright, so I'm gonna leave them like that. Well, flipped over, not upright, as that one's upside down. Okay, and then the very ending of May. Oh, I only got one card. Okay. Let's see what we have. All right, starting with these first cards, these 4 came out as being the beginning of this third week of May. And we have a reverse 9 of Wands, reverse 4 of Pentacles, reverse 10 of Cups, and a reversed 8 of Pentacles. Seems to be a theme here. And then going into the middle, the Guide of Pentacles reversed and the 7 of Swords reversed. So a lot of things upside down energy. The 9 of Wands is all about the healthy and necessary role of anger. Anger is how we know when boundaries have been crossed. Anger is why we change stuff that isn't working. Anger is what propels us to fight for what we believe in. Anger is passion. Many of us were taught to suppress our anger, though, because society is uncomfortable with angry women. Factor in the pressure of being a model minority, and you've really found yourself with a muzzle on. The Knight of Wands puts an end to the politeness. Here we see a woman who is standing in her power as a protector, a change maker, an artist, an activist. She is fierce and determined on a mission. Let her be a reminder of all the good that can come when you say enough is enough. And remember, every time you stand up for yourself, you are healing the wound for all the women in your lineage who were silenced. And that is the energy of the 9 of Wands, and that being reversed feels like not actually claiming your power. It's sort of being held back. It's sort of being put on hold and being quieted, maybe paused for a moment. Let's see why. The 4 of Pentacles is we can't hold on to people and things and places and experiences forever. It speaks to the idea of impermanence. Letting go can feel brutal, like a part of you is dying. The simple act of getting rid of clothes can unearth all sorts of baggage, old memories, guilt, what ifs, money trauma, the passage of time. There is grief in saying goodbye, a confrontation with our own mortality. That's a big reason why we hoard. We don't want to deal with all these intense emotions. But when we stuff our lives full of stuff, we suffocate. We have trouble moving on. We prevent ourselves from growing into who we're meant to be. Here we see a backpack that is so full the pentacles are falling out, symbolizing how you got to get rid of the old to make room for the new. So we're not letting go of anything. We're kind of still just holding on to whatever energy is happening. And remember, Wednesday is when we enter into this third week of May energy, and the middle of a work week can sometimes have that feeling like you're just kind of waiting till it's maybe the end of a work week or the beginning of a new work week, or letting it all go until the weekend. So let's see the 10 of Cups now reversed. 10 of Cups gives us space to reflect on our journey as a whole. All that's been gained and all that's been lost. The road has not been easy, but oh my goodness, here you are, still standing, still breathing, clearer than ever about who you are. You've been tested time and time again. And have you shown up for yourself or what? When the Ten of Cups appears, it's an invitation to honor your younger selves. This card speaks to that feeling of aliveness when we are finally able to move through the world as a whole person, when we've stopped rejecting parts of ourselves we don't like, when we make room for all of our emotions, when we treat ourselves with kindness. The Ten of Cups is a testament to the positive changes that can happen in our lives when we stop trying to control others and focus on our own healing. This card should be a celebration of the most important relationship of all, the one we have with ourselves. So again, this is just stopped, pause, put on pause. And one more card for this energy, the Eight of Pentacles reversed. You've been over here taking it day by day, putting in the effort, giving it everything you've got, and hot damn, look at this life you've created for yourself. You might not be where you want to be yet, the casualties of being a dreamer, am I right? But OMG, can you imagine what your younger self would think right now? She cannot believe how far you've come. The Eight of Pentacles offers you an opportunity to look back on your own journey with deep appreciation for where you've been. You've made it through the fire. You stepped up to the challenges. No shortcuts, no accidents, pure blood, sweat, and tears. Did you have help along the way? Sure. But ultimately, it was you who put the wheels in motion. You who made your dreams a reality. In this card, we see a woman who just hiked the entire 24-mile rim-to-rim Grand Canyon Trail. She's looking back at the path, thinking to herself, wow, how the hell did I even do that? That's the vibe of the Eight of Pentacles, in awe of your own amazingness. So in the beginning of this week, it seems to be a lot of energy that we've definitely accomplished a whole lot in our lives thus far, but we're not speaking up. We're not moving on, and we're kind of holding on to all the things that we've been, I guess, accumulating over this journey of life. We're not celebrating with the Ten of Cups, and we're also not being appreciative of everything that we've already accomplished thus far. But we've definitely made it really far. And for some reason, this part of the beginning of this third week of May energy is just kind of having you pause still. So let's see the middle of that week's energy, and it's the Guide of Pentacles reversed. If there's ever an apocalypse, the Guide of Pentacles is the one you'll want to be by your side. She knows how to forage for mushrooms, which plants hold medicinal properties, and the secret to building a rain-proof shelter. This card speaks to the gift of self-reliance, being able to trust that no matter what life throws at you, you'll be able to take care of yourself. The energy of this card is not so much about being so fiercely independent that you reject the support of others as it is about taking matters into your own hands. Don't understand the stock market? Take a workshop on investing. Want to learn some self-defense? Sign up for a Krav Maga class. Concerned about health issues? Schedule that doctor's appointment. The Guide of Pentacles approaches challenges head on. She isn't waiting around for anyone to save her. This card shows up when we need a little kick in the butt to remember that we are smart, capable, and resourceful. It is a tremendous source of guidance in wobbly times. Life has a way of throwing us curveballs, and when it does, tap into the resilience of the Guide of Pentacles. She will help you find your way. So she's here. She's definitely wanting to help us to reverse all of this, to see all of our accomplishments, to celebrate all of our accomplishments, and to speak up for ourselves. We're going to end this third week of May's energy with the Seven of Swords, also reversed. This one might be okay. Seven of Swords. Listen, I know how tempting it is to say yes to whatever comes your way, but continuing to override your intuition is going to bite you in the ass real soon. The Seven of Swords is all about being honest. Maybe you said yes to something out of obligation, or because you didn't want to feel left out, or because you initially thought it would be fun but have since changed your mind. It doesn't really matter how you ended up here. The Seven of Swords gives us a chance to get out. In this card, a woman has dragged herself on a ski trip she didn't want to go on. She's brought 5 swords with her on the chairlift, but is looking longingly at the 2 back at the cozy cabin, where she wishes she were instead. There are so many reasons why we people please. Trauma, attachment wounds, social norms, the list goes on and on. The important message here is that people aren't mind readers, so if something isn't sitting right, now might be an ideal time to speak up. Only if it's safe, of course. So the fact that that one is reversed means that we are going to speak up. that we're going to shift all of this energy, and it finally does come at the end of this third week of May, that we're going to stand up for ourselves. We're going to do what we want to do and focus on ourselves and put ourselves first, which is amazing because we've done a lot of stuff that we should be proud of and we should be celebrating. Okay, the energy of this last week of May coming in with the 5 of Swords upright. It's easy to say we love ourselves when things are going well, but as soon as crap hits the fan and all our triggers rise to the surface, that's when the real work begins. The 5 of Swords is about setting our egos aside so we can practice radical self-love. I'm not talking about bubble baths and affirmations, but the kind of self-love where you have to make tough decisions and swallow your pride and risk humiliation. But if anything's clear about the 5 of Swords, it's that now is not the time to stick it out. In this card, we see a woman rock climbing. It's the end of the day and her body is tired. She has the choice to either push herself to the top, illustrated by the 2 swords above her, or stop early, illustrated by the 2 swords below her. The 5th sword in her back pocket is a reminder that the decision is hers. Today she practices self-love by listening to her body and calling it quits. Sometimes giving up is the kindest thing we can do for ourselves. If feelings of shame start to crop up as you make the brave decision to walk away, focus on everything that's gained by moving forward. When the 5 of Swords appears, ask yourself, where am I pushing myself too hard? Oh, that's interesting. This energy is going to come in right as the time that we shift from Taurus to the energy of Gemini. And Gemini is all about communication, finding and seeking the root of whatever you need to know about yourself, know about others, know about situations. So a really good time to check in with yourself, ask questions, and figure out your goals and your direction. Going into the middle of this last week of May, we have the 8 of Wands upright and the Wheel of Fortune. Follow the ease. The 8 of Wands greets us with a nudge to take notes of where we're being intuitively led. What feels fun and easy? What are we excited to work on? Where are we naturally spending our energy? These are all clues that indicate what's aligned for us at any given moment. The mind can trip us up by trying to force us to follow through with something just because. So thank goodness the 8 of Wands is here to say you don't have to do anything you don't want to. If something's feeling like too much, look for a way to make it easier. If you're overloaded with ideas, go with the one that carries the most energy. If you're feeling stuck, back away until you find a flow again. The medicine of the 8 of Wands is to stop pushing yourself. You may not always logically understand why you're being guided in a certain direction, and that's okay. Your job is just to listen for those nudges, ride the wave, and trust in the process. And I don't know if you can hear this on my recording, but there is a plane flying by in my sky outside my windows. And just as I said that, a beautiful wind came and blew through the trees. Definitely go with the flow of the energy that is all around you. And I think that spoke just as loudly as the card. Okay, again, the middle of the week energy, the Wheel of Fortune shows up for us. That is really great. The Wheel of Fortune, we really needed this. Family relationships are complicated, and the Wheel of Fortune is here to help us break the cycle. The individuation process can be grueling, learning to accept our parents as imperfect beings, re-evaluating entire belief systems, acknowledging that our childhoods might not have been the picture-perfect utopia we once thought, but it can be mighty empowering to realize that we are adults now, and adults get to make their own life decisions. It's time to spread your wings and fly. Not everyone's going to be on board because when one person changes, it disrupts the whole family system. But this is intergenerational trauma work. This is how we shift the course of the lineage with the Wheel of Fortune. We're given the courage to free ourselves from toxic obligation and become our own person. Just because you played a certain role in your family growing up doesn't mean you have to hold on to it. Just because you love your parents doesn't mean you need to put up with disrespectful behavior. Just because your ancestors did things a certain way doesn't mean you need to follow suit. Let this card guide you in following your own inner compass. Wow, I actually had some trouble reading that. And I know that's because for me personally, I've been trying to heal a lot of family trauma that's been passed down to me and to previous generations. So I think that's them speaking up, trying to argue for themselves, but I'm clearing it, and I'm going to keep clearing it, and I'm going to continue doing my own thing. And I hope you do too. I don't know why I overshared that, but this is the energy of the week. This last week in May carries that energy of Gemini, which is all about communication and oversharing. So be aware that you might find yourself oversharing to complete strangers. It could happen. Here we go. The ending of this last week of May, we have the Four of Swords reversed and the Judgment card. The energy of the Four of Swords. Step away from the to-do list. I repeat, step away from the to-do list. When the Four of Swords is pulled, it's often a sign we've been too busy to hear our own thoughts. This card is here to help us examine if all of the beliefs we have about ourselves are true. Many times we develop narratives about who we are based on past interactions, dysfunctional family dynamics, and childhood wounds, and we carry these with us into the present, even though they have little basis in reality. A false belief might sound like, I don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm a mess, or if I say what's on my mind, I'll get in trouble. By pausing, we can develop awareness around these false beliefs and take steps toward creating new, more loving narratives. In the Four of Swords, we see a woman basking in the sun at the top of a mountain. She's put her swords, her thoughts to the side, and given herself permission to take a beat and connect with her true self. This card brings with it heaps of hope, as it's never too late to change how you feel about yourself. Whoa, this reinforces that we need to release old beliefs that are not serving us. And I'm going to overshare again. In my own family, there is this belief system that you have to work hard for money, and you might have heard this in your own family dynamics, and that's not necessarily true. And you have to figure out what your belief about anything really is and see if it's hindering you in any part of your life. So I have been working hard to release that belief, plus so many others that I just kind of inherited from others, and they're not who I know I am, who I want to be, and where my goals are going towards. So assess again. And let's do what this lady does and put those beliefs aside, and let's all just relax and find peace for ourselves. And the last card in May, Judgment. Not all healers have done their healing work. The Judgment card implores us to watch out for manipulative people who disguise themselves as spiritual teachers, the ones who get off on people's suffering, swoop in to make themselves look good, and leave you re-traumatized but call it healing, so you go back for more. This is the most dangerous part of walking this path. It is vital that we do it with discernment. Spiritual leadership is a big responsibility, and if healers aren't continually doing their personal work to check their biases, then they put others in danger. To lead with integrity, we must be committed to examining our flaws, defenses, and projections. It is a forever process. The Judgment card is here to help us walk the spiritual path cautiously and deliberately. Allow the perfectly still lake depicted in this card to act as a mirror, reflecting back the truth of a person or situation in your life. With the energy of this card, we're able to sniff out spiritual BS. We allow ourselves to trust our instincts. And perhaps most importantly, we continue to raise our consciousness while knowing we are never done evolving. That is so true. Our lives are filled with so much information that we've encountered since we got here, since we incarnated into our little baby bodies and have grown up. We are constantly taking in information, we're adopting belief systems, and your well-meaning, loving people in your life have also adopted belief systems that they just unknowingly pass down through the generations. And it is kind of a forever lifetime of work to kind of undo a lot of that. But I just said this and this channeling that I got in a previous video, that when we heal those traumas that we find, that we come across in ourselves after reflecting on our own lives, and we realize which traumas are ours, which traumas came from other people, which ideas, what misinformation that we took in about the world and how we can achieve success in our own lives, that when we heal anything in any of these kinds of big ideas, anything around beliefs, not only do we heal it in ourselves, we heal it for the next generations, but we also heal it for the previous generations. And all time exists at once. So that energy of when you heals everybody. And a big one that I'm actually doing right now is healing, like I said, this energy around money. There's also health issues in my family that I'm trying to heal. And I know that as I do this, I'm actually seeing reflections of better attitudes around money from not only my parents, but from the next generations. So it's kind of exciting when we get to heal ourselves, when we take time to heal ourselves, take time, relax, connect with your divine self. And when you heal you, you heal so much of the belief systems that our families have taken in, people that we love, and it heals them too. Wow, that was a lot of really wonderful information. I kind of find it very interesting that there is this energy in May, not only happening for, us on individual, but then there's the collective energy that's around the world at large, that in governments, playing out in big stages. And this could be a lot that could be affecting us individually. And knowing this energy is potentially affecting us, and we're all going to have to do our own work to figure out why we're letting it affect us. But sometimes these energies come in to help us purge definitely old beliefs so that we can have success, so that we can be easier in alignment and go with the flow of our best path, our highest timeline. And when we get into that alignment, into our highest timeline, not only does it heal past traumas within your own family, it heals your own life, it also heals the world, because everybody that you interact with out in the world, your life, just the energy of you being in alignment and in joy or happiness of anything in any moment, it radiates out this vibration that others will feel. They'll be affected, and it might change them. It might change how they process their life and how they can heal themselves. So we all do this, and it's amazing in our collective consciousness, our collective experiences in this world. Okay, I'm going to, just for fun, pull a few more cards just for added clarity. So from the angel cards I did last video for May, Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. Let's get a card for this energy of May, the last 2 weeks of May, and it already popped out. It just fell right out. And it's the Hermit card, Archangel Raziel. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. Wow. This card signals that you'd benefit from spending time alone, listening to your inner voice. Meditation is essential, as the path to enlightenment is an inner journey. Be silent and experience the joy that comes from seeking the truth of your own heart. Learn to feel comfortable in your own company. After all, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. This card also signifies spiritual teaching, so it can mean that you have wisdom to impart to others, or that perhaps it's time for you to find a spiritual teacher. Sharing wisdom is part of your spiritual journey, especially right now. Ooh, I like that a lot. And how perfect. That is really about, this energy right here. It echoes that. Finding, connecting to your inner self, your inner peace, your inner wisdom. And then one more, the Pleiadian Oracle, Starseed Transmissions from the Pleiades. The author is Karuna. All right, let's see. A message for the last 2 weeks of May. for our collective. Oh, there it is. Ashtar. Leadership. Ashtar is the central command figure of the Galactic Federation of light ships that hover near your Earth. He is Pleiadian in heritage and an integral part of the Earth Liberation mission from our galactic perspective. Hailing originally from a lower dimensional aspect of the universe, Ashtar heroically transcended many of his limitations and tapped into his greatness, where he was eventually recognized and seen as a master and beacon of servitude in the Pleiades. Oh, that so talks about everything that we need to do for ourselves is overcoming our own limitations and healing that and just being in that flow where we will reach our own mastery. The dedication of Ashtar getting through such great adversity allowed for his legacy to prosper and for him to fully step forth into his role of respected commander in our Galactic Federation starfleets. As a result, Ashtar is one of our most beloved representatives, seen as a role model to our citizens of what is possible when one is dedicated to transcending what one has been given. The Ashtar card arrives when the universe is attempting to fully bring out your leadership into the light. Just like Ashtar, you too have undergone certain challenging life initiations to make you the being you are today. The Pleiadians and many of our universal allies come to you on this card to remind you that your leadership is needed in your world at this moment. Now is the time to step into the forefront and reveal your natural abilities and talents to the world. Although this may sometimes be scary at first, the rewards are stepping into your leadership role far outweigh all temporary fears. Take initiative, show bravery, face your fears, and allow for your leadership to help and guide others. Oh my goodness, that's absolutely reflected. So much of this is stop waiting and hiding your beautiful, amazing energy, everything that you've accomplished, and be the guide of Pentacles and be that leader and let go of people pleasing, let go of being afraid to follow your own heart and listen to yourself, your inner wisdom. Again, like the hermit, go inside and connect to your awesomeness. You are this Eight of Wands, able to just flow into all of alignment with your highest timeline. And the Wheel of Fortune is here for you, granting all of your wishes. Just connect. Inner wisdom, connect to that. And even Ashtar is saying, connect and to do this healing work, to let go of everything that does not serve you, old beliefs that do not serve you, because you're meant to be a leader. You're meant to share your gifts and your talents with the world. What a wonderful reading. The energy of May started out with a lot of, if you look back at my last video, it started out with a lot of observing and waiting, and it also asks to connect to your inner self. I think that's going to be the theme for this entire month of May, is just fully connecting to your own inner wisdom and releasing everything that does not serve you. And actually for 2025, this is the year of the snake, which is shedding that old skin, shedding that old exterior and being new, releasing everything that does not serve you. And this is the energy of a 9-year, and next year will be this 10-year, which is going to be a whole new energy coming in and expansion. So that's all waiting for us. That's all amazing. So thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for liking, for subscribing, for your comments. And as I continue to channel energy to see if I was so excited when the energy that I channeled kind of matched the message. So I'm really excited to see how this channeling affects me, knowing what the energies are. Believe me, I will be doing more of this inner work, and hopefully I'm doing the sharing and as much information as I can, and I'm honored to just be on this journey with all of you. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.